Paul, I'd like to begin by asking you about the recent protests. You've been upping the ante of late with 2 protests in a week, Liverpool on Monday and Southampton on Saturday. How did it go at Anfield earlier in the week?
Yeah, it went well. I would have liked it to have gone better, but not bad at all. Very, good press coverage. To start with, it didn't seem that the coverage was good, but as the days progressed, especially in the Mail, a very good article. We didn't get all the banners in, which was disappointing, but I must make the point that when we do our homework, it seems that what they call protest banners don't get lit in any Premiership ground. Obviously, West Ham phoned through, and we worked with Spirit of Shankly, and they sort of greased the wheels, but we were on the understanding that all the banners would get in that weren't abusive. And it was disappointing. They asked us to send photographs of all the banners bigger than 10 feet by 6, which we did. 11 got in and 1 didn't. I didn't think it was particularly abusive, but nevertheless, fair enough. I let the fella know that had the banner. But apparently at 5 o'clock at Liverpool, all things changed. One assumes West Ham got to them, but we were assured that the banners would get in, and quite a few didn't. But as the TV showed, nevertheless, quite a few did. Hamish United had a few guys there. We did what we could, helped a few fellas, but by and large, it went well. Obviously, it would have been a lot better if West Ham would have took their full allocation. They talk about the 12th man, and the 12th man was 1,200 men short. West Ham say they didn't take the allocation because the demand wasn't there. Whatever the demand was, and I think most fans would say the demand was there, whatever the bloody demand was, it is on record that they said they would take all tickets for every game. It's in their own puppet OSB minutes, but they chose not to, and we assumed that was because there was going to be a protest. But yeah, all in all, it went okay.
A good turnout nonetheless. Anyway, it was a good response. Looking ahead to this weekend, you're intending to protest again before Saturday's game against Southampton. Can you tell us a bit more about that? What time you're intending to start and what route you're going to be taking?
Yeah, sure. We will stroll down the Greenway. We'll be kicking off at Plaistow at 12:15. We'll be coming by West Ham at 12:30, Abbey Road 12:35, Stratford High Street 12:45, and arriving at Puddingmill about 1 o'clock. Now those times are approximate. We will leave on time, but obviously, whilst I know there'll be a lot of people there, we just haven't got a clue on the numbers really. And that amount of people obviously only walk as fast as the slowest. So they're approximate times. Be all over social media and on our website, both times and good directions from all of those stations, all of those places I said, that's either the underground or the DLR station. There will be directions from all of those. There will be marshals at all of those places as well.
You had around up to 2,000 fans at the initial protest last month at the Olympic Park. I know it's impossible to predict how many fans are going to attend, but are you hoping for more to turn out on this occasion?
Well, obviously, I'm not hoping for more. There will be more. There's no doubt about that. There'll be double, at least. Will there be treble? Possibly. Will there be 4 times that? Who knows? I don't know. But of course, there'll be a lot more than last time. No doubt about it.
The weather is, as always, likely to take a part in these outdoor events. How's it looking this weekend? Is it looking good or are things not so good?
The weather forecast is not good, nor is the train situation where I live. You cannot get into King's Cross. King's Cross is shut. There's problems on the Chelmsford line. There's problems on some Paddington trains. There's problems in some Surrey trains. I would beg everyone, as we are from where I live, just to make that extra effort. You're just going to have to leave an hour earlier. This is a one-off, which I'll come on to maybe in a minute. And people really have to basically put up or shut up. And we really need the people to make the extra effort to get out there.
The club reached out to Hammers United again last week in terms of offering you a meeting with the board of directors. What's your current position on that?
Well, our current position is the same as it's always been. We will not meet the board when the official supporters board are present. Our position has been very clear. that we would love to meet the board. We will meet them. We would want the Football Supporters Association to be there. They will not budge from the fact that their puppet OSB has to be there, and we will not meet with them there. They are a club constraint. They're just as a box-ticking exercise whereby West Ham can say that they do engage with the fans, but of course we all know the OSB is a club constraint. So our position is unchanged. Also, West Ham are making good noises, but we'll wait and see the full details of what they're coming out with.
Okay. And one final question for you before we go. What have you got to say to those fans who aren't sure whether or not to attend on Saturday?
Well, firstly, professional football in this country has been going 130 years. This will be the only time that fans from any club in that 130 years have stood up to be counted in these sorts of numbers. Our supporters have been treated with disdain by these people. We're losing our tradition, our heritage, and worst of all, 20,000 of our supporters walked away. We have to make a stand. It's no good sitting in the bloody pub moaning about it. It's no good saying, oh, the trains weren't good. This is the first time for 120 years in West Ham's history, 125 years, whatever it is now. It's the first time there's been a march. And I plead with people to basically turn out, stand up and be counted. Certainly when we started Hamish United, I was told I was wasting the time. The fan base was apathetic. People were saying the fan base is broken, the West Ham family is broken. In regards to March, people said you're having a laugh. So let's show the world that the West Ham fan base isn't beaten. The West Ham family does still stand strong, and let's show the world what we're all about. And